Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Gitsky. Once again, protesters took over the streets of Bakersfield yesterday, but one man is in critical condition and in the hospital after a car hit him late last night. BPD says it happened as protesters were walking along California Avenue near Oak Street. At around 10:25 last night, people were in both lanes of traffic when a man driving east hit one of the protesters. We were live last night when 17's Aton Wallace spoke to a man who saw that crash.
Protesters began to circle him and protect him from everyone else. And then a bunch of other protesters ran after the guy that hit him, further back down that way.
BPD says the driver was later taken in for questioning, but has been released. Now, according to BPD, it does not appear the driver deliberately hit that victim. That protester is in critical condition. And BPD says it's investigating several incidences linked to last night's protests. At 7:45 last night, a car nearly hit a protester kneeling in the intersection of Chester Avenue and 23rd Street. Officers also responded to reports of vehicle vandalism around 23rd and 8th Streets a few minutes later. Then after 10 p.m., someone accused a protester of trying to open his car door on Truxton Avenue. BPD says for the most part, the demonstrations last night were peaceful. Well, some early morning protesters got out on the streets to make their voices heard. Protesters across the country have been holding for a week straight in the wake of George Floyd's death while in Minneapolis police custody. Now, two local women wanted to get out and be a part of the movement.
We just wanted to do something instead of watching this movement happen on our phones. We wanted to take part and try and do it peacefully, but also make sure that the people who don't have their voices heard, we try to amplify their voices and their message with what we're trying to do with ours.
According to these two protesters, they say it's a privilege for those who didn't know racism was still prevalent in the year 2020. They encourage those to pick up a book and educate yourself. They also list different ways you can help support the cause, like donating, supporting Black businesses, ending police brutality, and to call out racism when you see it. Well, Bakersfield Fire battles a 2-alarm fire in South Bakersfield. Around 8:30 this morning, fire crews were called to the corner of Weibel and Bell Terrace for a structure fire. Now, according to BFD, that structure was a vacant furniture store. It was completely engulfed in flames when crews arrived on scene. They had to evacuate a 2-story hotel behind the shop due to safety concerns. Now, no injuries have been reported. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Ridgecrest was rattled by a magnitude 5.5 earthquake. Last night's tremor caught the Ridgecrest City Council by surprise. The council was in the middle of taking public comments when the earthquake began shaking the council's chambers. Once the shaking stopped, the council took a short break. That earthquake was centered about 13 miles east of Ridgecrest and struck at 6:32 p.m., according to the U.S. Geological Survey. That quake happened less than 24 hours. A 3.9 quake struck closer to Barstow the night before. This latest earthquake was felt as far as Las Vegas. Shaking was also reported in Lamont, Bakersfield, and Los Angeles.
I was just informed, too, that we just had a large earthquake, as if things couldn't get worse.
That was Mayor Eric Garcetti's reaction during a news conference yesterday. There are no reports of any major damage. Ridgecrest Police Chief Jed McLaughlin says the city's wastewater facility took some damage, but repairs will be completed by today. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, that quake was one of the many aftershocks of last year's quakes in Ridgecrest, the 6.44 shock that struck on July 4th and the 7.1 main shock that hit on July 5th. Scientists say there have been thousands of aftershocks since then as we approach the 1-year anniversary next month. Well, this is a good reminder to always be prepared in case a bigger earthquake strikes. First, assemble an emergency preparedness kit. Include a first aid kit, a battery-powered radio, a flashlight with extra batteries, blankets, water, non-perishable food, prescription medication, identification documents, and cash. And make sure to pack enough items for at least 72 hours. A week is ideal. Create a household evacuation plan that includes your pets. Practice drop, cover, and hold on with all your members of your household. Know where to go when a quake hits. Look for something sturdy underneath the table. Stay away from glass, electrical lines, potential falling objects. Now, for more information on getting prepared, go to our website, kget.com. Now, a reminder, you can download the Shake Alert app to get earthquake warnings on your phone. Hundreds of quake sensors across California track the tremors and warn you just before shaking arrives. Now, that is available on iOS and Android phones. You can also sign up for disaster alerts from Kern County's emergency services. Just go to kern.com. Well, now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. Public Health confirms 44 new cases along with 5 deaths. That brings our total to 2,472 people who have tested positive for COVID-19. 45 people have died from the virus. More than half were living in a local nursing home. 55 of those people are in the hospital. Over 1,600 people have recovered from COVID-19. More than 27,000 tests have come back negative, and 838 tests are still pending. Well, America's Job Center is working in partnership with the Employers Training Resource to help displaced workers affected during the pandemic. The program is now enrolling and providing support services to unemployed people. Candidates may be eligible to receive support services of $400 or $800 based on qualifications. Now, to qualify for these services, you must have met one of the criteria. You must have been laid off during the pandemic or had reduced hours or been unable to work because of coronavirus-related reasons. Now, for more information and to begin enrolling, head to www.caljobs.ca.gov. Police are looking for the drivers who hit a man during an illegal street race last night. The department says 2 drivers were speeding down East Brundage Lane. BPD says a man was crossing the street outside of a crosswalk and one of the drivers hit him. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. BPD is looking for a light-colored BMW with a license plate ending with the numbers 657. If you have any information that can help police with this case, call 327-7111. Well, Kern County saw its 50th homicide of the year after a deadly shooting in East Bakersfield. BPD says the shot spotter system led them to a liquor store on Kentucky Street, a few blocks away from Beale Avenue. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital but died from his wounds. Now, right now, there is no description of a suspect. According to our homicide tracker, this is the 28th homicide for Bakersfield and the 50th for Kern County. If you have any information, call BPD at 327-7111.
Nicole, we are looking at a hot day out there. Skies have been clear, and we will look at sunny conditions as we go throughout today. Satellite and radar hasn't been showing anything whatsoever, and that's the way we'll keep it for today. Take a look at the regional view. Fairly quiet, still tracking that area of low pressure to the southwest of us and the ridge to the east. It's that ridge that's going to help to warm up all of the state today. 92 in Sacramento, Fresno at 106, 80 in Los Angeles, 73 in San Diego, Vegas at 102, and for the west, the hot spot today will be Phoenix, Arizona at 110. The beaches also looking nice, mostly sunny skies. We'll be right near 74 out of Pismo. Water temperature right around 54, southwest wind 5 to 10. And here's a look at the Pacific. So we've got the ridge that's going to keep us hot for one more day, and then that low will progress a little more east. That could generate a thunderstorm into the mountains tomorrow, but it's also going to start to usher in some cooler air, and that's great news for us. A heat advisory still in place until 7 o'clock tonight, and with that, if you have to be outdoors today working out in it, avoid direct sunlight as much as you possibly can. Take those breaks. Stay hydrated. Also, replenish the electrolytes. Limit strenuous outdoor activities as much as you possibly can. Just again, reiterating the safety tips during these hot days. Now, air quality going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups today with an AQI at 136. We're looking at 105 this afternoon in Bakersfield, 106 in Delano and Wasco, 102 out in Taft for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 88 in Frazier Park, 90 in Tehachapi, upper 90s for Kernville and Lake Isabella, 94 in Weldon. For the desert, sunny and hot with 105 in Ridgecrest, 98 in Mojave. Your extended forecast, 93 tomorrow, so a big cool down, but look at Saturday, 82, Sunday, 75. That'll be the best day on the 7-day because next week by Wednesday, we're near 97 again. Mountain forecast, tomorrow 78, a slight chance of a shower thunderstorm, and then for the weekend, we'll be in the 60s. 70s and a little bit breezy. By next Wednesday, you're near 82. And then for the Kern River Valley, you go from 98 today to 66 by Sunday and breezy, and then right back up into the lower 90s by next Wednesday. So just one day where we have to deal with this extreme heat, and then we get a cool down heading into the weekend. That's a look at your forecast. We'll send it back over to you.
Different groups have been protesting in different ways this week. Pastor Oscar J. Anthony organized an interfaith march to BPD headquarters. He says his goal was to bring together people of all faiths and backgrounds to pray for unity. Roughly 200 people joined him. At the same time, another group of protesters calling themselves The Next Step marched around downtown and eventually gathered with faith leaders in front of BPD.
We thank you for peace tonight. God, that bodies can come together and say, you know what? We might not all see things exactly the same, but today we are going to unite and say this, that we are in agreement that there needs to be justice in this world.
We stand with the church as long as the church stands with us in the movement that Black Lives do matter, although we understand that all lives matter. But in this moment, they don't believe that Black Lives matter. So that is our fight, and that is what we're standing for. And if they stand with us, we stand with them.
Meanwhile, at Mill Creek Park, people came together for music and unity to support the Black Lives Matter movement. It's a form of protest that dates back to the civil rights movement in the 1960s, the sit-in.
It's not what we're against. It's what we are for. They want to say we're against police, but we aren't. We are against brutality.
Now we hear those who say all lives matter. That's obvious. But now is the time for us all to say it clearly, that Black Lives Matter. Will you join me?
Over the last 5 days, we've seen many different forms of protest. People have made chants and marched around the city, but here they made their voices heard through music and moments of silence. The organizers hope to welcome people of all races for a peaceful, productive discussion.
Of course, all lives matter, and that is a part of Black Lives Matter. It is a part of it. You know, we're not excluding anybody by saying that. Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, is a part of that. It's one and the same to me.
It's going to take a lot of uncomfortable conversations, and it's going to take them going out and taking this piece and this momentum to their families and to their friends, and to push that with them.
There's going to be a candlelit vigil and prayer for the Floyd family tonight. It's organized by United We Stand. Now, that's the same group that held several drive-through group prayer for essential workers and first responders during the pandemic. Now, founder Joseph Castro says the group is meeting at BPD headquarters at 7 p.m. He says they want to hold a memorial for George Floyd and pray for peace for everyone. Well, court documents obtained by 17 News last night revealed the 31-year-old man accused of driving through a crowd of protesters last week has a long criminal record. Michael Tran pleaded no contest to a felony charge 2 years ago for attacking another person with a tire iron. He was sentenced to 90 days in jail and 3 years of probation, court records show. Other charges stemming from that incident were dismissed. Tran is currently in custody on $525,000 bail, facing attempted murder charges. Several videos show the car police say was driven by Tran plowing through a crowd of protesters, injuring one person, a teenage girl. Tran is scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday in his new case. Well, so far, at least 19 people have been arrested here in Bakersfield during the days of protest. All those arrests are from Bakersfield. On Friday, May 29th, 10 people were arrested. Then on Sunday, May 31st, 9 people were arrested. Nobody was arrested on the nights of May 30th or June 1st or 2nd. Most people were accused of refusal to disperse from an unlawful assembly. Now, you can find the full list on our website, kget.com. Well, we're learning that local law enforcement is being recruited to help monitor crowds in other parts of the state. CHP says that some of its officers have been deployed to help monitor protests in the Sacramento area. The sheriff's office says that its deputies have not been sent out of the area yet, but that there is currently a team of deputies ready to help out if they are called for it. So far, no officers from BPD have been sent out from the area at this time.